How you doing? My name is Jamarius, aka Jai1.
And my name's Antonio Drake. Simple as that. Just Antonio Drake. That's the name.
Well, Jai1, I always call him Jay. And
Yeah, absolutely, me too.
he's been around us forever. And Antonio, I call him Tony. So if you hear me say Jay and Tony, that's because, I guess I have to count them as being in the family with me. But these young men are outstanding. Jay, would you tell my audience a little bit about you?
Yeah, I grew up country. First of all, I'm country first and foremost. Family
Houston
from
country?
Nah, that's just a birthplace. Grew up in Louisiana. Rock roads, bare feet, all kinds of food, greens, cornbread, all that. All that you can imagine that's added a lot of weight to me in my years. So, but my brother, my sister, I have two beautiful boys and my wife, Elizabeth. So I'm appreciative. Family man. I'm in there. I'm in the club. Graduated college.
Where'd you graduate from?
DBU, Dallas
Ooh.
Baptist University.
Dang.
So good old DBU. I'm in there.
Yeah, that place
Yes,
is on
sir.
a beautiful piece of land.
It is.
Absolutely.
It definitely is.
Absolutely.
I love when I go by that place.
Yeah, it's fun. It's pretty fun. It's
Yeah.
a little hilltop, but
Right by Mountain Creek, little lake.
oh yeah.
Okay, Tony, you want to tell us a little bit about you?
Yeah, absolutely. So, family is originally from Jersey area, but I was raised out here in Plano, Texas. So, I mean, I say that because it actually kind of birthed the way that I rap, my flow for the music. So even though I'm a Southern boy, I got like an East Coast sound with it. But I started rapping around 15. Had a little, so I grew up and had a little like group in high school that I ran with. It was called UA, or underage, and we was doing a lot of party music at the time, the little secular music. And once I hit 17, is when I kind of like God kind of came into play and kind of stopped me at a time. It was like basically saying, hey son, like it's time for you to choose a path, basically, with the music. And so it's kind of ran into that was right outside of high school. Took that on and went through Collin at the time, Collin College. That then took me into kind of finding my way with the music and then the acting, which took me to where I graduated, was KD Conservatory.
Okay.
So ended up graduating from there in performance acting.
Okay.
And been doing the music and the acting ever since.
Oh, see, y'all are so talented. Talented. Now, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about music production, or some of the production things. When you write Tony, have you written any screenplays, or are you all music?
No, so I'm in the process of writing screenplays as well as stage plays.
Okay.
So yes, man. So I haven't done anything to where it's been produced and manifested as of yet, but it's all in the works. Absolutely.
Okay. All right, but we're still going to talk about that.
Yes.
As you're working on music, as you're thinking up a piece, because the type of music y'all sing is what? The genre?
Consider rap,
Yeah,
rap, hip hop,
yeah, hip hop.
Hip-hop, rap. Okay. Getting into the writing, what comes over you, or what makes you come up with some of the music that you come up with? Because, I've heard music from both of y'all, and y'all are fabulous.
I would say, well, first of all, I appreciate it, and I would say my experience that fills a lot of my music. I'm an authentic guy, meaning usually what I rap, I live.
Okay.
And that's so I don't rap about things I haven't lived, and I don't really speak on things that don't affect me or doesn't touch me in that way. So I typically base it off the experience and then what I see around me or what I would like to see change as far as that. So that's why I use that voice as a platform for that.
So why is that important?
Well, it's important because the music is is key. Music is one of those things that is colorless. It touches everybody. Good music lasts forever. I can think of songs. That's one of those things. I mean, how many times do we listen to songs from quote unquote of old, but it just sounds so fresh? Or what makes me laugh is when people who say, "Oh man, what's that new song? What's that new song?" But it was really a variation of something older or something like that, and they're saying it's new and everything. So that's why you can speak to a lot of people through music. It speaks to you. It really captures you. Yeah.
It's funny. I had somebody ask me like, when it came to like, I guess they were listening to some type of like trap music or something, but they was asking like, well, how do you know of the artists who are being authentic, like actually living out what they're talking about, and the ones who aren't? And I was just like, it's a feeling, especially being an artist. Like you could tell like those who are truly speaking of something they're experiencing or something that's close to them, because you can hear it. It comes out how you deliver it. It comes out in even the instruments that you choose. So it's definitely, like he said, like an authentic feeling. But yeah, I think that's where I write from the same place, right? So I write from either something I've experienced, something that's really close to me, and something that just like God just put on my heart. And so, no, absolutely.
Because I know listening to some of y'all's music when I've gone on YouTube, when you're at the house upstairs doing some things, and I'm just amazed. But then I'm like, wait a minute, where did that come from? What inspired that? What are some of the musicians from, as Jay said, from old that may have inspired you?
Oh man.
Yeah, it'd be from old, can be from new too. Cause I still have people like Cole today, J. Cole, your Kendrick Lamar's, even for me like the Lecrae's, like Lecrae actually helped actually change my whole direction. I was going in Lecrae, Andy Mineo, so those are a few for me for sure.
And what about you, Jay?
Me, I'm a musician first. I'm one of those people who have to learn how to rap. And then you have to learn it. So I always listen to music. The music will catch me. So the Stevie Wonders. Oh my goodness. The Clintons, the Parliament, Prince, Rick James. I go back to those. And then if we're talking rap, as far as rap, I love 90s hip hop and I love 90s rap. One of my favorite rappers is Kool Moe Dee. That's one of my guys. He did the song "Go to Work" and all that stuff, but just that type of style going in there from him to rap battling with LL Cool J, because it meant something. It meant something, and that's where I draw a lot of my stylistics from, because those guys were able just to get on and just rock it. Yep. And your Earth, Wind, and Fires, of course, and going in there. So I love that type of thing. The music is what captures me first. Yeah. And then that music if I feel the music, I won't ever stop writing. Oh, hey, that's wonderful. I noticed that your music is your music. I don't hear any sampling or anything like that. So why is that important to you, or what makes that important to you, that it's yours, your sound?
I think one, because it's so vital to find a sound in hip hop now, where so many are taking. It's easy to go with the trend, right? Yep. And so it's so difficult to even find a sound. It took me years. I started rapping at 15, but it took me a long time just to find a sound. And so I think once you find it, pushing that is very important. It's like we all have our own identity, right? So once you establish that in that field and in that industry, people know you by that sound, right? And so I always figure like that's what made it so important to me, and original.
Okay, what about you, Jay?
Yeah, you have to. What stands out?
Right. Yeah.
Right. Why do you go to this certain burger place when there's a lot of burgers on the corner that you can go
McDonald's.
To? Yeah, because it's McDonald's. Because they had the bum up, loving it and all that. But why? That's what makes it stand out. That's the passion behind it. You have to be unique. and especially nowadays where music is accessible to anybody.
Yeah.
Like anyone can pick up a microphone, anyone can pick it up. So
Absolutely.
what is going to make someone stop and say, I got to listen to you, or I got to stream you, or the most hardest thing, I got to buy your CD. So what does that?
Absolutely.
And I think that's Tony hit it right on the head.
Okay.
We got to get to that identity. It's your identity.
Yep. Now, we have quite a few people that are listening on Facebook Live, but we have a question from Dr. Linda. She says, do you do trailers, or do they do trailers? Because we have a lot of authors and things like that out there that are looking for music to do a trailer for their book. So that may be something you want to think about.
Yes. Yes.
Right.
Yes. I do the music, man. I'm blessed and fortunate. I have a great, awesome producer.
Okay.
So we
All right.
tackle that challenge anytime.
Okay.
Yeah,
And hey, Miss Mercy, I see that you've joined us. And honey, bueno. Now, we've talked about your music. How do you put yourself out there? How do you market yourselves?
You got that one
Got
on
that
lock.
one?
Yeah, you got that one on lock.
I call it a lot of guerrilla marketing, a lot of grassroots.
Okay.
So you have to be consistent with the trends of what's going on. For instance, right now it's all about Instagram. Instagram is a pretty huge platform on there, to where Twitter used to be, but it's not. So you got to be able to shift involvement. So if I know Instagram's a huge platform and it's connected to Facebook, then I need to get my videos on that platform where people are. So it's about making yourself accessible to where the crowd is, because no one's going to listen to you. No one's listening to you on Tumblr.
What is Tumblr? I don't even know what that is.
No one's listening to you on Tumblr. No one's listening to you on, these type of things. So that marketing wise, I just look at the trends, see where people are, see people who are in my vein and genre.
Yes.
And I kind of
That's key.
attack it from that situation.
Yeah, I think that's key, right? Because in this particular industry, it's all still social networking, right? So it's all social. So even where back in the day we didn't have the social media platform, it was still a social connection, right? It was still like word of mouth.
Yes.
So people, people tell this person go tell that person, and so forth and so on. But I think it's the same way of running through the social media. So like he said, like getting with people who are in the same field, who are willing to, hey, oh, well, let me push your stuff. Okay, you do me a favor. Let me push your stuff over here. So it's a constant connection.
Yeah. And, you have to understand, like you said, you have to go with the times, because back in the day, we used to sell 8 tracks out of the trunk or cassettes out of the trunk. It's not like that anymore. It's not like that anymore. And, I'm sitting in here, I don't only have my guest on, y'all. I have my producer who does a little music. Nope. He's sitting here smiling. I have my son here who also does a little music. So, these are young people that are doing things. Right. Now, you're talking about being on Instagram and using the social media that you have. I mean, how often do you need to be present? And I know Dr. Linda's gonna say something.
Constantly. Yeah. That's one thing I definitely appreciate about certain artists. I think we had this conversation before where even there's people out here who have all the talent, right? They have all the talent in the world, but the consistency and their persistence in working and pushing themselves and marketing is not there at all, right? So you can have a great product, but if nobody knows about it, then that product is not as valuable as it could be, right? Because it's not in the hands or being put out there for people to get to it. And so that's the same way with the marketing, like on the Instagram and things of that nature. It's all a matter of consistency and constantly being in front of somebody.
Okay.
Right. Oh yeah.
Are y'all on MySpace?
Fire it up again. I'll be on there. Let me find out.
I'm teasing. I am so teasing. Now,
that's a good one.
Okay, I'm gonna stop because I still have friends that have AOL in email addresses.
Yes, that dial up.
But you think about the marketing, you think about the writing. What about, Jay? You've got a few videos.
Right.
That it was one. I'm sorry, I was watching the other day, and I cannot think of the name of it. It was something about a man. That video just kind of
Man of the year.
Man of the year.
Man of the year.
It just hit me at my heart.
Well, it's funny the ideas for those videos. See, I was making it too hard at first. 'Cause I thought, man, if I had to make a video, it got to be the crew, the film crew, and I got to have the music video. But a lot of times, you do that and you lose opportunity in days where people can experience and hear you.
Yes.
Trying to collectively do one big summer thing. So I thought, well, people just want your content. So I got with my producer, Aaron, and I said to myself, what can we do? It just hit me like a voila moment. Sitting at the house, I was like, Aaron, we can just put a video out there. Yeah. They just want to hear me rap, right? Yeah. Okay. So we started doing videos, and I started taking instrumentals of other songs I enjoyed, and I just started rapping over it. But we made a production out of it, and now we're getting more consistent with it, and it's getting more comfortable. So now we're starting to play with it more, and that's going to actually lead into something big because it's been consistent, especially on Instagram. It's been doing really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
absolutely,
really well. Warm receptions, and I found out you can keep posting those. It's not like how it is in old where you post a video, then that was that, and it's hard for people to get to it. No, now you can keep refreshing and keep doing it. So now I have people who follow me daily who will like a video from last months ago or something like that. But because I had the content there, now they're locked in, or they'll like one video and then all of a sudden I'll see a few minutes later they followed. So it works.
Okay. All right. I got to get used to doing that. April is gonna be my month. I'm gonna put myself out there right. So, what about you, Tony?
Yeah, no, same. So I even get inspiration from watching him. Like I said, he's constantly out there, constantly has a video in front of somebody's face, right? Mm-hmm. And so I always kind of like give and take from Jay, right? We kind of like bounce off of each other, and so like even just the whole concept visually, it's all about putting the music with a face, right? So they just want to know who is this guy, and what's his story at the end of the day. So as long as you have something put out there, like I do these things called 116 videos, and so basically the whole concept is just doing just rapping a 16 bar verse, just one 16 bar verse, but then it also is like a play on words with the 116 because it stands for Romans 116, right? I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ, right? So it's always a play on it, but just being creative and constantly putting it out there again, the marketing situation, that's where it's at.
So I just started, because I'm doing everything homegrown, independent-wise. Yeah. So I just made a move from moving things from my website to Spotify and iTunes now consistently.
Oh, you're on iTunes?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
definitely.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm a big boy now. That's it. Big boy things now, iTunes. But No Peace is a song that I have on iTunes. And then No Apologies.
Oh, yeah, I listened to that one the other day.
No Apologies. That's on the apologies spelled with the Geez on there. And then Month Off. Those are something I experimented with. I just put those on there for streaming purposes. But now I have songs where my newer songs I'm coming with, I'm going to directly start just streaming it straight to there. Instead of making it go to SoundCloud or go on and go for it. So I'm excited.
Okay. All right, that sounds interesting.
It's dope.
What about you? What about you, Tony? What you got going on?
So as of right now, that's on the platform. They can actually go to YouTube and just type in Antonio Drake. It should be up. There's one song I got out there. It's called Royal Story. Oh. I even got like a little music video for it. So it's like got a little visual. But that's the number one song being pushed right now. And that'll be coming off of the EP that I'm currently working on, which will be on Apple iTunes here soon. So, yes, man.
I mean, this is so different than back in the day. You had to try to get a producer and, hopefully they gave you some money and hopefully they got your music put onto a platform to where people could hear it. over and over again. But some of these things you can do on your own. But, please, people, if you're out there, do it right. Okay,
Absolutely.
do it right.
Yep.
Make sure you copyright, own your own stuff, because people can pick you up still, just like they did back in the day.
Absolutely. Still doing it today.
Yeah, they are. They still are. They still are.
doing it today.
Protect yourself.
Yeah, yes.
Full contact sport.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, for those of you who are just now coming in, this is Dr. Mary Payton with All About STEM Radio. We are sponsored by Britt Technical Institute, opening up in Hearst. And, you're going to have to come out and check them out. And my two guests today are Jay and I call them Jay and Tony. They have other names, but, they are great, great young men. Give us a lot of information on the A that goes in STEAM, on the arts, and they're musicians and actors. And that's one thing I want to hit on with you, Tony, real quick. We haven't talked about your acting yet.
Yeah, absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about that.
Absolutely.
I looked you up.
Yeah, IMD beat me, huh?
I sure did.
So that's been great, right? And I love that the acting actually can flow into the music scene when it comes to like the music videos and things of that nature. But so I graduated from KD Conservatory. Right when I graduated, I ended up getting with an agency out here in Dallas. Shout out to Core Talent Agency, and. Immediately, so I was already doing theater, so I was doing stage plays through school. Once I stopped, I got to a point where I was like, theater is the most liberating acting scene you could be on. However, like it takes a longer time to get done, and at that time it was the least compensated, right? So you're putting in a lot of time for the least money. So I was like, I'm just gonna dedicate my time to commercials right now. And so I gave myself to commercials once I got with my agency, and I've done a few. I got one that's airing nationally right now with Uncle Julio's.
Okay, the
yes,
restaurant?
Ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, the Uncle Julio's commercial with their chocolate piñata. So that one's airing right now. And then I recently did a film called 1985.
Yeah,
with
I saw that.
Corey Michael Smith, and that was mind blowing for me, because it was just like God showed me, like, if I can be here, right, like he's like, son, I can open up many other doors, right? So this is just the start. As long as I continue to do my part, right, and continue to work at it. But yeah, no, I love the acting scene as well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I IMDb'd you, but y'all have to understand, these are people who are at my house that I kind of don't pay attention to. Yes. And then we were talking, I'm like, you know what, I have got to have you young men on the show, because y'all are doing things.
Thank you.
Doing things.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
But and I'm really proud of you. Jay. Oh, I got to tell you something before I go to my next situation. Jay has a barbecue sauce line, y'all.
Yeah, shout out.
So tell us a little bit about your barbecue sauce line, then I'm going to go back.
I'm going to hold off on the name for now, because we're going to definitely copyright it. But shout out. It really started, long story short, I was at a cookout.
Okay.
I love food.
Yeah, he does.
I do love food.
Because he takes food away from my house.
That's the country lifestyle. That's how we operate.
Am I going to get my Tupperware back?
That's what that was.
Okay, go ahead, Jay.
But it is so I talked to, because I'm this consistent. I talked to someone. I said, I'll invest in you and want it for you. Like, it doesn't have to be for me. That's the kind of person I am. So I talked to this guy. We were at the cookout, and he said, yeah, this is my sauce and stuff. I said, you need to sell that. I said, I don't even care about making money for me, but you need to sell that. And I told him that every time that for a year. And one time he called me up in the night. He said, Jay, your wishes come true. I was like, what you mean? You're going to be my partner? Also, we're selling this sauce. So now we're in the process of doing all that. He's been, thankfully, because of the job he has, he's gained a lot of support. We recently just got, it was a mom and pop shop, but we recently just got the sauce into a restaurant.
Amen.
Right. So they're doing a week trial on it, see how it is, and we're going to move forward from there. But we're planning on doing this. I'm grabbing connections from Applebee's and talking to general managers, and they're like, yeah, are you ready to move on a national level? Of course I am. You just let me know what we need. And so we're positioning that. We actually have a goal. We plan on being on Shark Tank If not at the end of this year, next year for that.
Ooh, that
That'd be a good
is
move.
wonderful.
Yes.
And that's a good move. So, we're
Got
gonna have to have a sauce tasting at the house one day.
Yeah,
I'll
you try to-
barbecue.
It's good.
People know I can barbecue. But anyway, going back to the art side, the A side. We talked about video, stage presence. Do you do live?
Yes.
So tell me
Yes.
about a little bit about that. Now, I sang decades and decades and decades ago, and so grew up singing in the choir at church. So being on stage for me was okay. Now, no, I have a face for radio. That's all I have to say. So I leave that to you young people. So tell me a little bit about what people need to prepare to go on stage.
What they need to prepare to go on stage.
To be a musician or to be any type of artist. We got poets out there, we've got writers out there.
Yeah.
To get up and be in front of an audience.
Absolutely. Just be creative. I definitely say that, right? I'm still to this day, whether it's like I said, theater stage or I'm performing music.
Yep.
I still get nervous every time before I hop on the stage, right? But it's all in my preparation. So I guess that'd be another thing, right?
Yeah.
That'd be number one, right? Prepare and be prepared, because once you get on there, then once you're you're performing, all the jitters will go away, right? And then your body. Something we learn in acting, right? So once you've practiced and got your body in the motion of your performance, it'll automatically take hold once you get on there and are performing, right? So all the jitters and all the things that you're worried about before going on stage, once you get there, your body will actually kind of take over for you, and if you're prepared. And like I said, being creative. It's another thing that's always been huge for me. Like before, when I was with a group, I tried to hide behind the fact that I had multiple people on stage with me. So we was a group of 4 or 5 at the time.
Yeah.
But now that I'm a solo artist, it's just been about now I have to take up the whole stage. So I try to utilize everything that I can to continue to have a presence on stage. Absolutely.
Jay?
Nah, he hit it right on the nose. Tony did. Matter of fact, shout out to Tony. When I first wanted to transition to rapping, he brought me in on my show, his thing, but he brought me in on that to rap with him. Mm-hmm. So preparation was the key. 'Cause I remember rapping at his house and going back and forth, spitting bars back and forth, like, hey, this is a word, this is a word, this is a word, playing out. So it was cool. But my main thing would be this, and that's one thing I respect about him, watching him. It don't matter if there's 1, it don't matter if there's 300, 2, 4, it doesn't matter. Bring it. How you
Every
perform
time.
in front of 1, bring it every time, because you never know who that 1 is, because all it takes is 1.
Yes.
So I would say do not let the crowd or potential lack of the crowd or the venue or what's going on dissuade you from how you bring it. This is my music. What do you want to get across? I lose myself on stage. I'm very off stage. I'm goofy. I'm not myself, but when I'm rap, I'm aggressive and I'm very this. So it's the preparation, and the preparation prepares you for that.
Okay.
Your body does react to it, remembers bars. Even if you get nervous and you thought you forgot some words or something like that. One thing I learned as a musician playing the keyboard is that there's been many Sundays or whenever I play, I've hit the wrong note and people be like, "Oh, you were so awesome," and all that. It's because I was on stage with the poker face, like, "Oh, I didn't mess up. What happened?"
Keep it going.
That's the way it happened.
Keep it going.
That's the perfect
Exactly.
chord. Same thing with rapping.
Okay. And y'all, they not only rap, these young men can sing. They have a voice. They really, really, really have a voice. And Jay, I was shocked. You were singing with Andre at the house, and I'm like, wait a minute, he can actually sing. Because I had only heard you rap for the last, as I come back and forth, and I was like, wait a minute, this dude can sing, actually sing.
Oh yeah.
So
I
Up in
remember
the
you
choir,
used to sing
too.
that the John Legend. All
The
the
John
time.
Legend.
the
Ordinary people.
Ordinary people, man. That's the go-to.
That was his go-to every
That's
time.
the go-to.
Every time growing
Can
up.
you-
And
okay,
and
when
he
you-
would kill it.
If
Like,
I come
he
back
did it.
Sunday in time, you're gonna have to sing that for me.
I'll sing it
And
for
he would
you.
play it and sing it. Like, I was like, dude,
Play and sing.
man, you're awesome, bro.
I'm trying to be a triple threat.
Yeah. Yeah. But you're going to be a little more than that if you get this barbecue sauce out the
Oh man, yes, yes.
Y'all heard it here first, people. So, I'll be putting it out there. But, that is so awesome. But you're right. You have to be prepared to go on stage. Because I know one time I was singing at what used to be Carswell, which is the Naval Air Station now. And the sound system went out. Just bloop. And I have, back then, I have a voice that was really loud. And I just went on singing. And people were like, dang, we could hear you all the way in the back. But I had to practice and be prepared for that. So you're right, because I'm telling you, people can get up on that stage and choke.
Yes.
Man.
Yeah, that's easy to do.
Very easy.
We don't want that to happen. Don't want that to happen. But what are you working on now? What's some of your current work? As one of the questions I have here. Is there anything coming up that I don't have my reading glasses on that you are both excited about other than the barbecue sauce?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, I'm just currently working on my first EP that I'm going to release entitled Dreams and Distractions. And so I'm really excited about what's coming forth for that, because going back to experiences, this is as a youngin' in rapping, I've always had that dream, right? And it's always just been multiple distractions trying to keep us from, and I think that's for everybody. It's obviously not just for me, right? It's exclusive to everybody. Everybody has a dream, and there's so many distractions, even self-inflicted distractions, right?
Yeah.
Procrastination, things of that nature, right? That can get in your way of getting to the dream, and that's exactly what this whole EP is about. So I hope it will definitely touch a lot of people and show you ways to get through those distractions to get to the dream.
Is that going to come out this year or next year?
That'll be this year for sure.
Okay. All right.
Absolutely.
Jay?
Dreams and distractions.
Dreams and distractions. I like the title
You
already.
snuck that in on me.
You didn't know about that, Jay?
Nope. Well, I'm happy I do now. No, a couple things I'm working on. One I was mentioning immediately is a contest for Fruit of the Loom.
Ooh.
Working on that contest as far
Fruit of the Loom.
Fruit of the Loom.
The underwear people.
The underwear people. Working on the contest is a strict ruling. I had to read all the rules, but basically it's a great chance for exposure.
Okay.
So I know this Sunday we're doing a live band, music originally from scratch, from instruments and everything, trying to enter in. And it'll be posted on our social media sites. So one of the contest things, we have to post it on Instagram and tag it. So Sunday it will come out, and it will be out there so we can get that done. As far as projects and personal music, I would say technically it's done, meaning I have everything. My project called Please Be Advised. Mm-hmm. It's just a declaration of who I am, what I went through, and where I'm trying to go.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I let Tony came over, Aaron. We sat down, we listened to the whole project from start to finish. So I want to come out with that no later than the fall.
Okay.
I just need dominoes to fall before then, because I want to be able to get the promotion right for it.
Right.
Because this is my first debut technically project. I've done mixtapes and stuff before, but it's not on the scale of what I'm trying to do now.
Yeah.
And this one, I know how I want to rap. I know who I am. I know how I want to market. Now this is my declaration. This is who I am.
And may I speak on that, bro?
Oh, go ahead, speak on it.
After hearing that, I've been hearing Jay during his whole career, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hearing this project that he has about to release, it was awe-inspiring. This is the one that people gonna look back on and be like, dude, this was the classic album. This was the classic release for him. Yeah. Like you said, he now has his identity. He knows his sound. The creative process on here was crazy. His producer was crazy good, right? So everything is intact in this particular album. So please, y'all go get that. Please be advised.
Please be
advised.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Let me tell you, you've been around for a while.
Right.
You've been around for a while, and to be able to, you went to college, you worked, you have a family, and, all of this is just a blessing and amazing. wife and kids and mom and dad and sisters and brothers and, just a country kid and, somebody from up north found their way to Texas.
Yes, ma'am.
And so,
Yes, ma'am.
And I got to take a moment to do a quick shout out because I see Brandon Lewis is on. He has joined us. He is getting ready to graduate next month.
Congratulations.
His associate's degree. Brandon, we are proud of you.
Absolutely.
My little golfer. He was a kid I taught in middle school.
Oh.
And so he's doing well. You got to be proud. Got to be proud of him.
Congratulations.
So congratulations. Yes, I will be at your graduation. Nothing will stop me. And hopefully there's a party afterwards. Somebody gonna barbecue. We're gonna get some barbecue sauce.
Yeah. Let me know about that. Y'all family now. It's all family.
So, speaking of everything, I alluded to the fact of family. Tell me about people who have supported you, who's sponsoring you. What do you feel comfortable with telling us about? But, even with me doing the show, I can't do this by myself.
Right.
I've got great producers, Gary, Victor, Aaron, my child, puts up with me.
Right.
So who's in your corner?
Absolutely. It's definitely a team process. And I'm pretty sure they're all listening right now. So I definitely want to shout out to my family, my parents, my sisters, cousins who've always been there since day one. I actually do a horrible job of telling them of the things that I have coming up, or I'll tell them the last minute. So I'm trying to work on that. These people in my corner. Also, my lady. All right, I'm trying to get to Jay's status right with marriage. So we definitely on that course, and my son as well. So definitely just had that family backing, and it's huge. Yeah. So I definitely appreciate it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same. My mom and dad, they've been supportive, especially at the career. I didn't even know my dad knew what YouTube was. But he said, yeah.
Wait a minute.
He's just bless him. Because on the phone, he's getting into the technology. So,
okay.
And but he sat down and told me one time, he said, I saw your video on YouTube. And that shocked me. I just wanted to stop him there. I said, you were on YouTube? For what reason? Would you have a purpose for that?
Which video was that? Which one was that?
It was an older video I did where I was rapping. I did it 5-6 years ago. And he saw a video of a contest I did. Rapping for a producer that was doing a contest out there. He's like, yeah, it was pretty good, son, and all that. If anyone know anything about my dad's old school music, old school gospel, commissioned. If it ain't the blood, I don't know, that kind of stuff. So for him to say that, it got me. He supports me. My wife is supportive of the dream. I have some of the best friends, Tony, Wes Blake, but my other family, Ryan, to Zach and Jared, and all that. They all support me. My friends on there in the group, my boy E. Troy, they didn't send money just cause they say, hey man, you need to promote, or this is what you need. And they'll send money just to me. And that blows my mind. And I don't forget. I'm the type I don't forget anything because I'm trying to bless later on. I keep a list of people who have given to me because that's going to be given back to them tenfold. So
obviously, this is a blessing because, I've watched you grow, and I'm starting to watch Tony grow, and I've watched Aaron grow. Well, I've watched Aaron grow up, and have just been amazed at what y'all do, and looking at your music, listening to your music. All of your music has a story. And I'm not a real rap person, but you're listening to the words, you're listening to the story, and it has a meaning. And what was that? Apologize?
No apologies.
No apologies.
No apologies.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, is awesome. Is awesome.
Yes.
If somebody wants to find you, social media, how do they find you?
Yeah, so I worked hard to do this. All you have to do, any platform, whether it's Facebook.com, whether it's anything, Jai1 Music. So it's Jai1 the number 1, and then music. You can search that on Instagram. You can Google it. You can type in Jai1music.com from our website. But if you go to my Instagram and everything, I set up a master link to where it leads everywhere. I made it simple for you.
You're going to have to teach me how to do that.
Oh, it's I stumbled across it.
Okay.
I see someone did it, but I basically have a link there to where it leads everywhere. So you click on one link, and I have things listed like Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, website, and it's just all right there. And you can do that. But JAI, the number 1, music.
Okay. Is it capital J or small j?
Either or.
Okay.
Either or.
Okay. JAI 1 music. That's
All
how you
one
get
word.
a hold of Jay. All one word. And Antonio.
Absolutely. I'll be trying to take off from this man right here. But so yeah, I try to keep it simple. So it's just AntonioDrake.ad. So I think Facebook's the only one that kind of gave me a hard time, so I had to underscore it. But it's AntonioDrake_AD. But then the Twitter and Instagrams all the same, AntonioDrake.ad. And same for YouTube. If you just Antonio Drake, you can typically find me.
Yeah, that's how I found you. So we've got just a few minutes. How important is it to have a consistent handle?
Someone showed me it more than just a consistent handle, because if you're like me, if it's too difficult, especially this day and age where we're microwave, where we're so grab and go. If it's not consistent, no one's really trying to do all that to get there.
Yeah.
So one, it has to be consistent, and two, you have to make sure that copyright. Why did I choose Jai1 Music? Because it was unique to me. JAI. That's my initials. That's my name. I'm the first of me, and all that kind of thing. So I put that in there, but I also serve the 1. That's why I put the 1 in. So that's
that's why I always loved like seeing his, because he was branding it, right?
Yes,
so it's a brand, right? And then mine was just able to be simple since it's just my name, right? So it's just like just keeping it easy. Like I know one thing he does that I do now too as well. Is, for instance, if you find me on Instagram, say you couldn't find any of my other ones, you find me on Instagram, I have it listed to my Twitter, to my Facebook, to other platforms that I have it on my Instagram. Or if you find it on my Twitter, I'll have some on my Twitter to link me to all my other pages. So it's always good to have that. Even creating a website, I think, will even be ideal, right? Because then you can have it, have all your platforms easily listed out there.
Okay. Now we've got like 3 minutes left, but if you could say anything to my listeners, people who want to get into the business, or parents like me who have children that are wanting to get into the business, and you're like, oh my goodness, my child wants to be an artist of any kind, what would you tell them?
Don't stop. It's gonna be tough. It's a lot of tough. It's not easy, but consistency. So it's a muscle. Only way to get it strong is to keep working it. So you got to work through it. There's a lot of big artists. They didn't get it overnight. Yeah. It takes years and years and years of refinement, years and even more so to stay on. So keep grinding, keep working.
Yeah. For the parents, please just see if if that's your child's gift. You see that's their dream. You see it's something that they take naturally to. Like he said, just continue to back it. Be persistent. Have patience. Yeah. Definitely have patience, because that will always be seen through. If they continue and be persistent with it, like God will always see that dream through, right? For those who looking into acting, I definitely want to give a shout out to KD Conservatory. I think that's a great school. It was life changing for me when it came to acting. To get out there, it's in Dallas, right off Stemmons Freeway. But yeah, KDstudio.com would be the place to go. But yes, ma'am, like absolutely.
Yeah, because that's one of the things when I go out to schools, I talk to kids, and I'll ask them, what do you want to do? And they'll tell me, and they'll say, oh, I want to be a singer, I want to be a rapper, I want to be a football player, I want to do this, I want to do that. And I ask them, what are you doing now? Do you write? Do you sing? Do you act? Do you have you been in any plays, even at school? Do you play high school sports or middle school sport?
That's huge.
You have to practice your craft. So,
ma'am.
I think that that's a blessing. But, if you don't, you don't. 'Cause, I'm going to tell you something. I had to laugh at my child that's standing here recording. I remember many a times going over to Dallas and having juice boxes and gummy candies in my purse, and him in the band would get a snack out of my and chips and get a snack out of my purse at the venues in Deep Ellum. I can't say clubs because they were still in high school. But I was one of those parents that had to do that. But one quick question, because we got like 30 seconds. What's your favorite gospel song that you sung growing up?
Oh, I would say never would have made it. Never would have made it. So that one.
Tony?
Nice. Stand.
Oh, my
Donnie
goodness.
McClurkin.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes.
Stand.
Mine was How Great Thou Art. I think I sung that at 4 years old in the choir.
Ooh.
Yeah, but see, that's that old gospel.
Gotta get the tape.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this has been All About STEM Radio with Dr. Mary Payton. Our guest today was Jai1, or Jay in my house, and Antonio, or Tony, in my house. They were putting the A into STEAM today. Outstanding young men.
Thank you.
And
for having us.
again,